Krueck and Sexton has been practicing in Chicago for over 30 years now, founded and run by Ron Krueck and Mark Sexton. And I joined them in, I think, 96, and then in 2010 became the third principal. Spertus basically was directly adjacent in the building next door, but they had a bit of an issue because nobody or few people knew that they were here in Chicago as an important institution. So they wanted to move into a new building, which we're in today, and basically assert themselves as an important institution, one that's welcoming, that's known, and that actually features the multifaceted nature of the institution. On the one side, there's the facade, and there's a whole, what was the building supposed to look like? What would be an appropriate image for an institution like that? And at the same time, I think equally importantly, the inside was very critical to the success in that Spertus really wanted to be much more connected between those various components. So the inside was also very important to open up spaces to each other, have people see each other, and have much more of a sense of the great community that effectively Spertus is. We sort of eventually came into this idea of not just the typical glass facade, which let's say it's just plumb and a normal plane, but we felt that if we broke it up, it would do two things. It would be a modern interpretation of the many ins and outs that are in some of the great historic buildings, and secondly, we think it ended up being sort of an interesting approach to broadcasting the Jewish experience as something that there's no black or white in the world. There's many layers of gray. Every question has many answers, and so the play with light and the ever-changing nature of the facade through these folds, we thought might be an interesting way of interpreting the user that is in the building. Once people actually go up to the top of the building, you get this view back over the park and the lake that is really unique. One of the advantages of the articulated facade is that there is like a moment like right here when you actually can step outside the avenue, so to speak, and then look right up Michigan Avenue. And this is we really love this moment because it juxtaposes our sort of the tautness and the reflectivity of our glass facade with some of the historic detail of the buildings next door. And so it's a way of becoming or stepping into the context of the neighborhood and the streetscape. The skirt does double duty. It actually works as people approach the building. It's this moment where there is a very subtle acknowledgement of where the entry is. And also there's the zone between the inside glass and where the skirt is, where it's effectively like a canopy. The very nature of this folded facade means that along the edge or in plan, it basically is a zigzag line, and you can probably also see how that mullion leans out. So it's a complex geometry. So you see, this is almost like a human bone in terms of the shape. This is all per engineering, but actually on the back side here, the face of that mullion is radiused, and that allows the different orientations of the glass to be accommodated. I mean, the architect sort of, I think we have to have the idea. We have to sort of bring the vision. But the sooner you then engage an engineer, the quicker it gets that much better. So the point is, when we worked early with an engineer, our design got significantly better much quicker. We certainly believe architecture is it's a great profession no matter what, but it has to do with turning ideas into realities. And the most beautiful design is one thing, but we really want to make realities out of them. And of course that introduces a whole bunch of other complexities into the process. The drive that the client had obviously was key in everything we did. And then when it came down to glass selection or even the proposing this faceted design that they embraced fairly quickly. It was sort of like when we first showed it, it was almost like that everybody said, yeah, we think there's something to it. So in that sense, that was fairly easy. But that's just a long-winded way of saying we're completely convinced that great architecture is not possible without great clients. And we were very fortunate in having Spertus.